أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته and good day. So today we are continuing our lecture under chapter 1, which is the introducing research. All right. So with this we are going to discuss how we are going to formulate research concept or idea. All right. So under this, we have a lot of discussion in relation with formulating research concept or idea. So we need to understand the three approach how to start formulating concept of research. All right. So this three approach on how to start formulating concept of research. All right. Let's start with approach one. List keywords of interest. Okay. When we say list all the keywords of interest, make a list of concepts and topic you find interesting, right? As well as lists of related words and synonyms. This can serve you as a key research terms, all right? Say for example, you have concept 1, okay? So, what are those? Maybe your research you want to put it on a school choice. Ano ba yung anong school, name of school, or particular setting of your research that you are going to establish your idea, all right? It is educational choice, all right? Meron din open enrollment or educational voucher, yan. And then concept 2, ano pa yung mga concept 2? Let's say for example, discrimination, educational access, access to education, social justice, and so many more ideas, concept or keywords that interested or where you are interested in research, all right? So look for the synonyms, related terms, okay, and the alternate phrases or the key names. Those are the strategy, no, on how you're going to list all the words that is interested or that is related to the idea that you are going to build, all right? That the idea or the concept that you are trying to analyze. So once that done, all right, so once that done, now proceed to the approach 2. Okay, so the approach 2, this will serve you as a guidance. Okay, that draw it out, sketch out the relationship between ideas. So, for example, itong resistance movement, ano ba yung relation dun sa communist resistance or dun sa youth resistance? Meron ba silang pagkaugnayan between the two resistance? And then the black squad or youth troops. Halimbawa, itong mga anong mga youth resistance yan? Sino ba sila? Or what are those uh, ideas na dapat na nag-link between let's say for example itong resistance movements, di ba? This is just an example, okay? uh, i-relate mo, okay? What are those relationship itong mga communist resistance, youth resistance, itong mga ito, all right? Let's say another example na halimbawa meron kayong another um, topic which is halimbawa the dissemination of the the dissemination of orders, okay? So which of the following that you are going to follow, anong mga orders yan, okay? And which of them that is related to the dissemination of orders, okay? So parang mga ganun, you need to sketch out everything that is related to your study, okay? And then next is yung approach 3. Define it in sentences. Okay, write an explanation of the topic, justifying it on multiple levels. Okay, so first is conceptualize or conceptual justification. Explain the topic in a broad theoretical senses. When we say ito, no, theory, when we say itong broad, okay, meaning every related to that ideas or topic, you need to explain it very well. Nasaan? Anong location ba ilalagay yung project? Para saan ba yan? Sino ba yung beneficiary of that project? Paano ba gagawin? How you are going to build the project? Ano ba yung mga materials? What are those na uh, materials or yung tinatawag natin in infrastructure na kailangan just to build the idea that you are trying to formulate, all right? Itong theoretical ano naman, okay, itong theoretical senses naman, which ito yung tinatawag natin na yung um, ibig sabihin yung kayang it is viable na kaya mong ipaliwanag yung idea mo na meron kang makukuhang alright. So ibig sabihin ng theoretical sense, ito yung parang mga tausog, kaunon siya sinakal, okay? Na yung topic nyo ay hindi siya lalabag uh, sa sa yung logically, all right? So parang ganun. And then next is practical justification. We will provide an example of an idea and then it is conceptualized justification na meron ding practical justification, academic justification, and personal or yung tinatawag natin na social justification. All right? So practical justification, ito yung describe its real world application or benefits. Ito yung tinatawag natin dun sa previous research na effective. Effective yung tinatawag na idea na na-formulate nyo. How it is being practical, meaning talaga ba siyang beneficial in terms of yung tinatawag natin na application. Okay? When we apply your project, your idea, it is applicable in a real world. May benefits ba yan? Ganun yung mag-formulate ng idea. Na dapat na formulate in a way that na nakikita mo dun pa lang sa tinatawag na logically, nakikita mo dyan na it is beneficial to the stakeholder. Alright? And then academic justification. Meaning, you can explain how it contributes to the existing research academically. Okay? It is contributes, meaning na it can add into the body of knowledge na andyan yung pang-academic, yung yung tinatawag natin na pwedeng mapakinabangan ng mga students. Alright? And then personal or yung tinatawag natin na social justification. Okay? Ano bang ibig sabihin ng social justification? Ibig sabihin you can discuss, okay, the impact. Okay. Ano yung tinatawag natin dito na impact? Ibig sabihin ng impact dito yung the output ng project mo sa sa individual, pang isahan lang ba yan? Pang halimbawa, pang kay sir, pang kay ma'am, or pang malahatan ba yan, society? Na ibig sabihin, andyan yung barangay, meaning it is beneficial to everyone. Alright? Ito yung tinatawag natin na society. Alright. So next, let's proceed to an example. So I have an idea here na yung tinatawag natin na machine learning based soil quality assessment and analysis system. Okay? Bakit natin tinatawag na machine learning based? Okay? Bakit natin tinawag na ano ba yung idea dito? Yung idea dito is to detect the quality ng the quality ng soil. Okay? The quality ng soil. Tapos meron siyang tinatawag na analysis system. Ano yung analysis system dito? Ito yung function ng machine learning. For quality assessment, ibig sabihin na-assess na dito ng machine learning yung tinatawag natin na halimbawa itong soil, okay? Na-assess na ng machine learning, okay? Yung quality ng soil. Okay? Nag-a-assess yung machine learning sa quality ng soil. Okay? Tapos nag-a-analyze na din yung system na nabubuuhin natin gamit ng tinatawag natin na machine learning, na-assess niya yung quality ng soil. Okay? So, kaya nga tinawag natin yan na machine learning. Okay? So, dahil sa machine learning na yan, naka-base yung system natin to ano? To assess, okay? To assess the quality, okay? The quality of soil. Yan. And to analyze the quality of soil din. So, yun ang tinatawag natin na idea na bubuin natin. At tapos tatawagin natin machine learning-based soil quality assessment and analysis. Now, meron tayong justification for conceptual. So, conceptual justification, ito yung tinatawag natin na theoretize or theoretical. Yung posible ba na yung soil na ma-analyze yung ano niya, yung quality niya or ma-assess yung quality niya using the machine learning? So, ito yung question. And then, we need to justify. I-justify natin in a conceptual yung logically. Okay? So, soil quality plays a crucial role in agricultural productivity. So, ayan. So, ibig sabihin, yung soil quality, talagang kasama siya sa productivity ng mga yung mga farms, yung mga agricultural farms, okay? So it affects the output of every agricultural products, yung quality ng soil. Yan. That is how you are going to justify. And then, by analyzing soil nutrients, ito na yung papasok na dito yung idea mo. Okay? Papasok na dito yung idea mo on how you are going to help para ma-assess mo yung pagiging quality ng soil in order to produce, okay? In order to produce a quality agricultural sustainable, okay? Or sustainability farming. Alright? So, by analyzing those soil nutrients, ito na yung justification mo. Ito na yung sasabihin mo na dito kung paano ka makakatulong sa agricultural productivity. Farmers can make informed decision to optimize crop yields. So, malalaman ng farmers kung ano yung gagawin nilang decision para makapag-harvest sila ng marami. Okay? So, by using a machine learning, ito ipapasok mo dito yung important parts ng idea mo. So, by using a machine learning algorithm, can efficiently process a large data set. So, meron tayong tinatawag na data set. Okay? Ito yung ginagamit natin to identify patterns and trends that traditionally soil testing method may overlook. So, ito yung tinatawag natin na data set para sa traditional soil testing, yung tinatawag natin na manual testing of the soil, okay, of the soil, can now process using a large data set and identifying patterns using yung tinatawag natin na machine learning. That is how you are going to justify in a conceptualized form. Okay? This is how you're going to provide a justification using conceptual framework. Alright? Next is practical. So, pag tinawag natin na practical, ito yung mga basihan na ginagamit natin na mayroon tayong mga hardware, mayroon tayong mga kasangkapan, infrastructure on how you're going to analyze the idea. Alright? So, itong practical justification, the use of the IoT-based system, okay, gamit daw yung IoT, which is the Internet of Things-based system, with the RS84 sensor. Ito yung RS4 sensor, ito yung sensor na ginagamit para makadetect ng soil quality, yung KPI na tinatawag natin. In machine learning, allows for, okay, And machine learnings allows for real-time soil quality assessment. So, gamit itong sensor na yan, okay? So, I do not need to explain in details. Anyway, na-discuss na rin ito sa embedded system, yung mga sensors. But anyway, you can find a lot of benefits or yung tinatawag natin uses sa mga sensors sa internet, alright? So, machine learning allows for a real-time soil quality assessment. Ito yung sensor na ginagamit para makita yung quality ng soil. Reducing manual labor and increasing precision. Ito yung practical justification na tinatawag natin gagamit ng IoT-based system at yung mga iba pang kasangkapan na tulad ng mga sensors in order to reduce the manual labor and increasing precision para mabawasan uh, yung dami, okay, ng manggagawa sa farm. So instead na marami kang kasama, you can do it by yourself, and at the same time it will increase the precision. When we say precision, accuracy ng testing of the soil. So this system can assist farmer in making timely intervention to improve soil fertility and crop health. Okay? Yung tinatawag na crop health dito, ito yung parang magiging result of the idea that you're trying to formulate. Okay? And then next is academic justification. So, pang academic justification, ito nga yung tinatawag natin na maiambag natin into the society. So, while previous studies have explored soil quality, so ibig sabihin, binanggit dito yung previous study. So, pag napapansin yung previous study, which means gumamit siya ng mga review-related literature. Okay? Gumamit siya ng mga review-related literature or studies that's already published in the internet or in the publication company. Na pang-academic yung ginamit niya dito kasi gumamit nga siya ng previous study. So, explored soil quality assessment. Ibig sabihin, may mga previous study na gumamit ng tinatawag na soil quality assessment. So, few have integrated IoT. Yung iba daw, yung iba, gumamit sila ng tinatawag na IoT integration. And then, yung iba naman, gumamit ng machine learning. Then, this is for real-time monitoring. So, parang live na nakikita mo yung changes ng nutrients ng soil. Okay? This research contribute to the growing field of smart agriculture by developing an automated and efficient approach to soil analysis. So dito naman pinatunayan ng researcher, okay? Pinatunayan na yung tinatawag natin na contribution, okay? Ito yung tinatawag natin na contribution which is academically, okay? Contribution ng mga sila na gumagamit ng tinatawag natin na smart agriculture. Yung tinatawag natin na smart agriculture, itong idea natin, we can consider this one as an smart agriculture. Alright? So, by developing an automated and efficient approach to soil analysis. So, dito naman, binack up niya yung binack up natin yung title na in order to justify academically that using the automated smart agriculture, smart or automated system for agriculture, it is efficient approach to soil analysis. Ito yung idea. Okay? And then, social. Ano nga ba yung kinalaman ng social sa project, so idea natin, okay? So, i-justify natin in order for us to analyze that our idea is beneficial in every aspect of yung para mapatunayan natin na this is effective. So, pag napatunayan natin in this four approach, rather, not three, four approach, um, magkakaroon tayo ng basihan na this idea is beneficial. Alright? Food security is major global concern. Binanggit na naman dito yung problema. Okay? Binanggit natin dito yung problema. Anong problema na? This is a global concern na yung pagiging food security. Ano bang food security dito? Yung mga contaminated food na kinakain ng mga mamamayan, all right? So, by improving soil quality, kasi may mga tinatawag tayong mga polluted soil, di ba? Yung mga polluted water, it's actually affecting the growth of every agricultural farming, no? So, by improving the soil quality assessment method, ito na nga, binanggit natin yung solution, ito yung problema, okay? Ito yung problema, ito naman yung solution to that problem, okay? By improving the quality assessment method, this system can help farmers increase productivity, reduce costs, and promote sustainable farming practice. So, ito yung problema, ito yung solusyon sa problema, ito yung output, okay? Ito yung output na makikita natin sa problema na nabanggit. Alright? Ito naman yung tinatawag natin na solution. Right? Okay. So, this is the problem. Okay? And then, this is the solution. Ito yung solution sa problema na nabanggit. Okay, ito yung solution. And then, ito naman yung tinatawag natin na justification na nagpo-provide siya ng output. Ito yung output ng ano natin, ng idea natin. Okay, yan yung output. Ito yan yung output. Yan. So, makikita mo na meron output. Okay? And then, merong solution. Tapos, based on that solution, meron kang makikitang output. So, ulit. Social justification. Anong problema? Food security is a major global concern. Then, what's the solution? By using the soil quality assessment method, this system can help. This is the output. Can help the farmer increase productivity, reduce costs, promote sustainable farming practice, ultimately benefiting communities that rely on agriculture for their livelihood. So, nakuha natin yung mga approaches on how you are going to formulate an ideas. All right? All right. So once you have the idea that you already formulated, then before you start writing, okay, before you start writing your idea, try to ask this 5 question. Okay? Ask yourself about your idea. What do you already know about your subject? Ano ba yung keep a list of keywords, names, and events. This is already discussed in the first presentation. And then second is how long, okay, has your project existed? Uh, ano ba yan? New concept ba yan? Or it's already published? Or bago ba yan? Or hindi pa ba yan na-discover? So, dapat alam mo yan. You need to figure it out using yung tinatawag natin na RRL, okay? Or related studies, or tinatawag natin na related studies. All right? So, based on related studies or yung tinatawag natin review of related literature, malalaman mo kung yung idea na binild mo, it's relatively new concept, or it's already published, or bago, or undiscovered. And then next is, what discipline does your topic fall into? Ito yung tinatawag natin, saan ba kabilang yung study mo? It is history, it is biology, or it is applied science. So sa atin, it's already uh, uh, nakakategorize na yan into applied science. So basically, this each fall into applied science. So each has its own best starting point. So pag halimbawa applied science, ibig sabihin meron niyang output. Kaya sa computer engineering, meron tayong tinatawag na project design, which is you are going to innovate some things or you're going to create new as a uh, applied science, all right? And then next, how are you viewing the topic? Ano yung dito, ito yung tinatawag natin na plan, okay? Think about what you are planning to emphasize. Saan ba kabilang yan? It's belong to politics, history, or another aspects. So, when we say another aspects, dito na fall yung project design which is another aspect siya kasi nga meron tayong new device na ginagawa, meron tayong mga devices or meron tayong ini-innovate na things. And then next is, ito yung panghuli which is what's the timing. Napaka-importante po ito sa research, sa method of research, which is dapat meron kang nakaset na milestone on how you are going to finish your project. How long do you have to do this project? Ibig sabihin dapat meron kang milestone. Ilang buwan ba yan matatapos yung project? Halimbawa, nasa planning ka, ilang araw yung planning. Doon sa implementation, ilang araw yung implementation. So, makukuha mo dito yung how long does it need to be? Ilang araw ba yan or ilang buwan ba yan na bago matapos yung project na yan? Kasi bakit meron tayong limit kasi ng paggawa ng project design? Kasi meron tayong proposal, meron tayong final defense. So dapat in that time, before it reach out, mauubusan kayo ng oras, okay? Dapat natapos na yung project niyo. Dapat finalize siya in a way na hindi kayo mahuhuli sa final defense. Kasi dadaan pa yan sa mga defense for before its implementation. Okay? So, ganun yung once you are done with all those 5, then proceed with the writing. Mag-uumpisa na kayo mag-introduce ng project niyo and that will be discussed on the next lecture. How you are going to create an introduction about the idea. Pero bago tayo darating doon, of course, magkakaroon tayo ng mga activities. You're going to formulate ideas, provide the four justification. Okay, provide the four justification. I-justify nyo according to the four justification, which is yung academic, yung mga conceptualize, yun. All right? So those are our lecture for those were our lecture for this day, how we are going to formulate research concept or idea. So natapos yung lecture natin chapter 1 this day. And for next week, we are going to discuss the chapter 2. Papasok tayo dun sa mga related studies, yung mga ganun. Alright? So once again, wassalamualaikum and good luck.